Do not do it. Do not move to Costa Mesa unless you watch this video first, because we're going to give you everything that you need to know about living in Costa Mesa, including the bad parts. So let's get started.
Okay, so here we are. We're in Orange County. We always have to start off these videos in Orange County because guess what? You're in the Living in Orange County channel. So basically, that's what we're going to talk about. So
yeah, you got to see where Orange County is.
Yeah, so
maybe you don't know.
You know?
Maybe you don't. Maybe
we have encountered people.
Yeah, for sure. Know. Maybe you have been offered a job in Orange County and you're like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that thing?
What is that?
Yes, so Orange County, just so you know, is part of the greater Los Angeles media market, right? Which we actually are really happy about, because that way we kind of get the higher treatment touches as far as like production value and everything when it comes to our, like any of our broadcasts and stuff. So, and also our sports teams too, which is nice. So we are part of the LA media market, and then so as far as proximity, we're obviously right adjacent to LA County. And as far as as we're zeroing in, obviously Costa Mesa isn't the most populous city in
populated
city in Orange County. It is, again, it's an awesome city. I love Costa Mesa.
Me too. And it's very, very centrally located. Like, that's one of the things that people love about Irvine. You may have heard of Irvine, which is right there.
Yeah.
We can show where Irvine is. People love Irvine. Big reason, it's so centrally located. Costa Mesa is the same. You want to just show like the freeways there, how easy access it is. Even when you're like pretty far down in Costa Mesa, honestly, when you're in Costa Mesa, you feel like the entire Southern California region is just right at your fingertips.
It is very convenient from that perspective. Yes. So as far as you're mentioning the major freeways. So basically you have the 55 freeway, this will dump you into Newport Beach itself. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't technically end at Newport Beach, but it actually does end in Costa Mesa, but it is your way to Newport Beach.
Yeah.
And then you obviously have the 73 freeway, which isn't a toll
in the Costa Mesa
here,
port. Yeah.
But then it's all bad. Bad.
Because it's a toll.
Yeah. There. And then you have the 405 freeway, which is one of the major freeways in all of Southern California. And even the 5 freeway, take the 55 up, you're actually pretty close to the 5 freeway, which is the other major freeway in Southern California.
Yeah, you're very close to the 5 and the 405, which is so nice. And it's really nice too that the 73 is right there and that it's not a toll at that part.
Yes.
So yeah, so if you can show
we should probably show John Wayne Airport too, right?
Well, yeah,
because
and then just to explain how convenient it is. So the South Coast Metro area of Costa Mesa, which we love, you want to just show where that is? Sean loves that area specifically for the value.
So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dezad.
And I'm Courtney Dezad, and we are licensed real estate agents here in the state of California.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the perfect weather. I love the glitz. I love the glamour. I love everything about it. But the problem is I'm not local. I may be out of state. I may be even out of the country. So I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's why you reach out to us. That way we can have that conversation, finding out specifically what you're looking for. And we have a team here that's available for you. So that way, whenever you're here, we have someone on call to take that call or to show you properties too. And we can do virtual tours of not just the property, but the neighborhood as well. So that way, when you do come out here, your time is spent super efficiently. So what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. Yeah, so it's right there. And then one time
this is South Coast Plaza.
Yeah, one time we were there and we randomly realized that we needed to be at a Laker game and we were already late. So we drove from that part of Costa Mesa to Los Angeles. You want to show where the Lakers are? And the traffic guards were on our side, which is kind of amazing.
Let's be real, was just.
But it literally took us 45 minutes. I'm not even kidding. And it was kind of later in the day. It was shocking. Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh, I remember.
But it just shows you how convenient Costa Mesa is.
Yeah, because you take the 405 all the way, and then you take some of these freeways, and then like the 110, and you're there.
Yeah.
So if you were in some part of South Orange County.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
Good luck.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen. So it's just again, that's what people like about Costa Mesa is that it is pretty easy to get to off the freeways, and it's not too far south either.
Yeah, very centrally located. Similar to, Fountain Valley's right next to it. That's another city that people really like, partly because it's so centrally located.
Yeah, and Costa Mesa obviously has some variation. What's nice too is that the major airport in Orange County is John Wayne Airport, which is right here. And for a regional airport, it does have, I guess there's some international flights to Mexico and to Canada, but mostly it's regional. There's actually a pretty good amount of traffic volume, and it's run incredibly efficiently. If you're flying into Southern California, if you can take John Wayne,
Yeah.
you're going to be happy that you did. That's a little tip right there.
Although last time my sister came and visited us, she told me that it was really bad. That it was like super crowded. I mean, it could have just been that day.
Yeah.
But it was
seems,
weird.
I mean,
like
every
that
time.
almost never happens.
Yeah.
Like even around the holidays, I'm always like, how is it so like dead?
Yeah. No, they do a really good job. So
Yeah.
it's only 3 terminals, but again, they get a lot of traffic flow going through there. And then actually, well, some of this, I guess we could talk about, is that John Wayne Airport, you do have some aircraft noise, right? So
That's true.
You
That is
do
true.
have something to kind of, so John Wayne, the runway kind of takes off this way, and sometimes you will hear it in Eastside Costa Mesa, which
So
is...
you want to show what Eastside Costa Mesa is? So
Sure.
we'll just show you. Okay, before we do this though, so we're not going to give you a huge map tour of this. We have other videos that do that. And then also, I just wanted to show you that we do have an actual tour of Costa Mesa. If you go on our channel, we have a playlist that has tours of a bunch of different cities, always adding more. And if you go down, here's one that we did of Costa Mesa. So if you want to actually see, oh yeah, and then people always like, they always like me. We don't do these things like the lab, Mesa Verde. So people do it. And then it will show you like the different parts of Costa Mesa. So that's just, you know, if you want more than what this video is going to give you. So yeah, you
I appreciate the flattering look.
I
that
know, like all my wrinkles.
I'm
Yeah.
really easy on the eyes right now.
12 decades of sun. Yeah, so that's what decades of sun will get you. Wear sunscreen, people.
So we have full vlog tours of Costa Mesa, as well as driving tour too. So that way,
And map tours.
and map tours. So we're
Yeah.
giving you a sense of like, again, where things are with the maps. We're giving you like what's like boots on the ground and wheels on the road with our driving tour.
Yeah, so we're not going to go like super in depth in this video. We're just going to show you, you know, some of the major neighborhoods and stuff. So you want to show what's east side Costa Mesa. That's a major neighborhood.
Yeah, as far as like
So-
the major neighborhoods that people kind of pay a lot of attention to, you have Mesa Verde, which is popular. East side Costa Mesa. Sometimes I'm not sure how this thing.
That's not how you need to
very
draw
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not east
Sometimes
side
they do an elliptical thing, and it's just not working out that way. Okay, so Mesa Verde, that one's pretty good. And then you have East Side Costa Mesa here, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Orange County.
Yeah, so cute, so charming. The weather is absolutely pristine. Great.
Yeah, South Coast Metro stuff, like this is like Wimbledon's and some housing tracks, like that's really like right next door to South Coast Plaza. This whole South Coast Metro area, right? Like, it's all
Yeah.
that. And then you have Mesa del Mar, like, you know, you have, again, like you have a bunch of different things.
And then this part of Costa Mesa is more like, it's not really that much housing,
Oh,
I
no,
would say.
there's housing there.
Oh,
for
there
sure.
is?
But I mean, it's a combination of things, for sure.
It has like an industrial feel.
There's some of that, for sure.
Yeah.
And then also this is like, and then just to kind of give you proximity of where you are in Costa Mesa, I guess we should do that too. That, like, you're right next to, like, Huntington Beach this way, and Newport Beach this way and that way, and then Santa Ana that way. So what's nice is that you can kind of get to a lot of different places. Like, you're right now, and actually Irvine is right this way too.
Well, let's just, you want to back up and show like how close you are to the major job hubs, because
Yeah.
South Coast Metro is a major job hub.
Yeah,
so,
which is within Costa Mesa itself.
Yeah, so you want to circle that. Like South Coast Metro is a major job hub, and then Santa Ana, like
And then Irvine.
the South Coast Metro part of Santa Ana, and then like the downtown part of Santa Ana, and
Newport
then
Beach.
Newport Beach.
Yeah, like, let's see, where Newport Center's right
Yeah,
now.
Newport Center, and then if you
And
go,
even the airport area, actually.
yeah, the airport
like,
area,
yeah,
and then you can go even.
It's like all around.
Yeah, it's all around. That's another reason people like Costa Mesa, right? So like, look at all those like
Those are job hubs.
job hubs right there.
And then obviously, if like university is important for you, like UC Irvine's like right here.
Yeah,
so
super
you're
easy access
super
to UC,
yeah.
to UC Irvine, and then you're fairly close to Anaheim as well.
And all these beaches, like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just trying, like, you know, long story short, you're next to a lot of good stuff, I
It's
guess.
so
That's-
convenient.
yes.
Like Costa Mesa is just so convenient. That's like what's so nice about it. Also,
Yeah.
I would say like even though it's not a beach city, I would say that like the weather is surprisingly beachy. Even when you're
Right.
in like the South Coast Metro area of Costa Mesa,
you still get sea breeze.
yeah, you still like it's kind of weird. Like even when you're here, it feels more beachy than when you're here, which is like kind of bizarre to me. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like this microclimate in Costa Mesa where it's like
Nice.
it's very much like Newport Beach. It's very strange. Like
And actually, Eastside Costa Mesa might even have, again, it's kind of crazy to say,
Yeah, so
even
let's
slightly
show-
better, like,
Than
weather
Newport,
than Newport,
yeah.
because we have this phenomenon that takes place in June. ish, right? So like maybe June bleeding into a little bit of July, or a
Yeah.
little bit of May bleeding into June. We have this June gloom, where you have this marine layer effect, where it's cloudy, and it can be cloudy for a significant portion of the day.
Yeah.
And so that makes the weather, again, and it's still nice. Like, let's be real. But it's, Costa Mesa, it'll burn just because it's a slightly inland. Again, not by much. Like, you know, because it's slightly inland, that will burn off earlier. So you have those blue skies, like, you know, showing up earlier.
Yeah, for sure. So now let's go to niche.com and
with an amazing preview photo.
I know, we were looking at this photo and we're like, that is the worst. Like, why would you choose? That looks like
That's selling the city.
it looks like somewhere in the Midwest, like during the winter, slate gray sky. Like, this is so not representative of Southern California. And then the fact that they chose the fairgrounds, which I'm like, yeah, they have the fairgrounds, like that's cool, but there's so much other stuff about Costa Mesa. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, not really the claim to fame. I mean, it
No.
happens to host it, you know, like on the
Yeah.
Orange County Fairgrounds or in Costa Mesa, but this isn't like Costa Mesa is super, like, puffing out their chest going, we're where the Orange County Fair is. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually
it's
fine
cool.
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that this is kind of an odd preview photo.
And then you will have, you know, sometimes like concerts there, comedians there. There's stuff that's happening there. And then it's right by Orange Coast College. But yeah. So.
Which is actually a pretty highly rated community college.
Yeah, it is. And they actually have a lot of people from like out of state that go there. They have like dorms and stuff, which is kind of interesting.
So D for housing, is that because of... Well, actually,
the
we
cost.
will say that Costa Mesa has been very anti-growth.
That's
so
true.
that actually possibly has something to do with that low grade because one, let's be real, the pricing isn't low here.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
since Sean's talking about it, let's talk about the median home price.
Let's talk about the Orange County though first.
Yeah, okay, so
Orange
Orange
County. So you're looking at about 1.1 million at the time of this recording, right? And that's for all home types, including single-family residences, townhomes, and condos. Now, if you're going straight single-family residences,
Sometimes they
it
do
was
that.
1.3 million.
Okay.
I don't know.
The
why
last
it's
time
not-
we
yeah.
saw that.
So that's, you know, giving you a sense of that, right? And then Costa Mesa, so already the median price is about what the median price is for single-family residences. But then when you go for single-family residences, actually, surprisingly, that much more.
Although you should point out though that because you know there's only
That is
37 homes
In
sold
all the whole city.
in the whole city because it's a very there's just not much for sale right now.
Yeah,
because
very tight market.
Very tight market. So the numbers, like if you actually go back to the Orange County, you can see how much smoother of a curve it is, right?
And even
because
that's, again, low for the county. But, again, it's
Yeah.
at least more data.
it's your data set is so small. So yeah, because you only have 37 homes, you see these big jumps, right?
Yeah, and these jumps are like swings of like $100,000, $200,000. We're not getting anything close to that. That just happens to be at that particular snapshot in time of that month. Like there was like some homes that sold where it skewed, let's say, more like on the higher end or more on the lower end. So, you know, just understand how these data sets work that way.
Yeah, and then do you want to show, because people always want to know, like Irvine is always surprisingly expensive to people, so how does Costa Mesa compare?
Yeah, and so we could, you know, again, if you look at the median home price of Irvine, it's already, again, very high.
Yes, that's
And-
including condos and townhomes.
And then when you take into account houses, you're like 1.9 million. Again, 71 homes, so again, small data set. But actually, I would say this is fairly indicative because
Yeah.
if you look at the trend, it's been up there. So it's, again, just significantly more expensive.
And then
Okay.
let's show Newport Beach, which
It's
is
neighbor, so it's the same thing.
It's the neighbor. It's the neighbor.
Tomato,
Tomato,
really.
tomato. Just how much more expensive Newport Beach is than Costa Mesa. Like, it's kind of unreal.
It's kind of, for all home types, we have
Yeah.
3.77 million. So obviously, we're talking about like triple,
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, let's
Yeah,
go to
actually,
let's go to
basically
single family.
triple. And
Let's go to
then-
single family.
and then single family.
Wow.
Yeah, it's.
Of course, it's only 43 homes, so they must
Although
have
it's
had.
been on a trend over the last couple months.
That's true. They must have had like some really high sales recently, but
It seems like, yeah, that I would say more like, again, it's been on the 4 million range if you look at this trend line or this line here, because again, you need enough data. But yeah, so long story short, even though it's right next door to Newport Beach, the prices in Newport are just crazy, and you can find some really nice homes in Costa Mesa.
oh yeah, Costa Mesa is one of our favorite cities. Like, we love Costa Mesa. It's just so, like, what I love about Costa Mesa is Orange County has this reputation of just having all these tract homes, everything looking the same, and there certainly are a lot of cities and neighborhoods that are like that. Costa Mesa is really charming. It's cute. It's different than what you'd think of when you think of like these big tract homes. It's got like a great restaurant scene. Like, I love Costa Mesa. It's so convenient.
Yeah, great shopping, great restaurants.
Oh yeah, it's got South Coast Plaza,
entertainment.
great shopping. Yeah, it's just like a great little city.
Yeah, it's just that obviously, you know, again, it's not a coastal city, so it's not on
Yeah.
the ocean or in the harbor. So it's, again, like, again, this is your next door neighbor here. This is what you're right next door to. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
so take, and again, for this, the Newport Beach feel, a lot of people look at the East Side Costa Mesa pocket in particular as giving you some sort of approximation. Again, I hesitate to say that. It's not like, again, it's different than Newport, but at the same time, again, you're attending the same high school as...
Depending on where you are in
I'm
Costa
talking about
Mesa.
East Side Costa Mesa.
Yeah, depending on where you are. Okay, so let's just go back to like niche.com after we like destroying this photo right here. So what niche.com says...
My life, look, an A+. Hey, that's... I haven't never seen that for Orange County City. That's actually pretty impressive.
Where's the nightlife?
I'm trying to think of that myself. Like,
I don't know. Where is it? I mean, not that Sean and I partake, but I'm just like, what? Where is it?
There's South Coast Metro stuff, for sure.
Like bars? Where? I don't know. Whatever. Sean and I are like the most boring people ever.
Boring.
You will never...
It's number 31 for best cities for young professionals in America.
Guess.
Wow.
Even when Sean and I were like in our 20s, we would never partake. We would just sit at home and do nothing and watch movies because we're just very boring. Okay, but so niche.com says like Costa Mesa rankings, healthiest cities. So wow, 11 for the healthiest city in America, healthiest places to live in America, best cities for outdoor activities in America. I don't know why they're saying that. Maybe because
Maybe it's into next door because
I
mean, actually, Costa Mesa itself, outdoor. I'm trying to think of it itself.
Yeah, it's like very close to Newport Beach, which obviously it's got great outdoors.
Yeah, and you have the Back Bay that's right there. So I mean, it's like.
Yeah, so for outdoorsy stuff, you want to we just want to show you what we're talking about. Like the Back Bay is right there, but it's not in Costa Mesa.
So it's right across the street from the Back Bay. So Back Bay is like this area right here.
Yeah,
right?
so that's a very popular outdoor recreation area. And then obviously
you have Fairview Park. You have some things, but honestly, like this regional park, but these aren't.
Yeah, I would say Costa Mesa is definitely more urban than some other cities in Orange County.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. I think they must lump that
with like Newport, which obviously if you go down,
and they might lump with Newport and Irvine for that matter. To be
honest. And Irvine does have a lot of open space and parks and stuff.
Yeah, but for outdoor activities, that's what threw us off as far as that rating because again, Newport.
If
you want outdoor activities, you're kind of pretty set. Like again, we kind of already alluded to the Back Bay, which there's trails all over it. You could bike, walk, run, that kind of thing. And then of course you have the harbor where you could boat, paddleboard, all that stuff. Obviously you have the beaches here too, which is incredible. I mean, again, you have a ton of options. Yeah. It's just that Costa Mesa itself. Again, maybe we missed something. Obviously, feel free to comment below in the video because I don't exactly know what stands out as far as like outdoor activities.
Me too. So you may also be interested in schools, like if you're thinking about coming out to Costa Mesa to live with a family. So Costa Mesa is part of the Newport Mesa Unified School District. And what's nice is you can go down here and it'll give you like a map of all the schools and their grades. And then, some of the more popular schools that I've, our kids' friends, like through sports and stuff that they've met. So I've met, for whatever reason, this is like a magnet school that is part of Newport Mesa. Like, I don't know why I've met a lot of parents that send their kid here, but it's got an A. It's part of the Newport Mesa. It's in Costa Mesa. And then in terms of high schools, you have like Costa Mesa High School, which is like an A-, like Monte Vista, which is an A-. Depending on where you are in Costa Mesa, you may be zoned for Newport Harbor High School. That's where Sean went to school.
No A+, we were robbed. Whatever.
And then this, I believe, is like a newer thing. It's basically like it offers a dual enrollment into Coastline College. So basically, students who graduate from here, they have an AA at the same time. I don't think there's any sports or anything here, but this is an option. It's part of this dual enrollment college, this is a community college, Coastline College. And then now let's talk about cost of living. So obviously, we kind of already touched on it when we were talking about the cost of housing because you can see, so like 100 is average.
For the United States.
For the United States. Costa Mesa is basically 3.5 times that. But the rest of it is like actually fairly, and the reason why utilities is so low is because in Costa Mesa you don't typically have to have air conditioning on.
That's
depending
again a subjective
where you are.
Thing,
it is subjective. Like us personally, like I don't think we really. It's rare.
Yeah, when I talk about my listings, a lot of times I talk about the indoor-outdoor lifestyle.
Yeah.
And truly, Costa Mesa does, actually, not to sound like a cheesy salesperson, not to say that I'm not, I'm just saying that, like, in the indoor-outdoor lifestyle.
The ones that I write.
Yeah.
The indoor-outdoor lifestyle.
Yes, and you actually do get that,
You do,
right?
for
Like
sure.
a lot of people, like they're not going to open up their windows and let the fresh air in because it's sticky, humid, whatever
Yeah.
that might be. Whereas in Costa Mesa, like one of those cities,
Yeah.
you're opening those windows, you're opening the
lot.
sliding glass door, you're
Yeah.
having, let's say, the ceiling fan going to circulate.
Yeah.
That tends to be like for a lot of times, maybe not every day of the year, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the summer does have some toastier times of the year, but like for most of the year, that's what you're kind of doing. Like you're kind of just like having that breeze kind of come through. So
Yeah, I would say like Costa Mesa.
Yeah,
like depending
that's
on
nice.
your preference, right? But for like Sean and I, 90% of the time would not need air conditioning.
yeah, 90% of the summer, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
But again,
But that's personal
yeah,
preference.
everyone's different. Some
Yeah.
people, like your sister, she lives in Texas. She has a meat locker of
Yeah.
a house where,
But I'm always like to her, I'm like, how is that possible? I'm like, Stephanie, you're a Californian. Like,
and they grew up with no air conditioning in a place that needed air conditioning. So I was sweltering in there. So, but yeah, so she's used to like
Yeah.
suffering through, and her place is actually uncomfortably cold.
oh yeah, I have to wear a sweater
Yeah.
when it's like 100 degrees outside. That's a different.
That's
It's a
neither here
different.
nor there.
Yeah, neither here nor there.
But yeah, so if you see the blended rate, it's not nearly as exacerbated as the housing would make you think, because
Yeah.
the rest of the city is actually really nicely set up.
That's true. And then just, a little, this is just, they're ranking the, quote, top neighborhoods in Costa
Yeah.
Mesa. These are just some of the neighborhoods. I mean,
We kind of alluded to East Side Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
Mesa Verde is really awesome because it's kind of close to the freeways and it does have parks and golf
Mm-hmm.
courses, that kind of thing. Again, Costa Mesa's great.
yeah. And then, we just do want to be real, like the crime and safety, you can see for yourself, like some of the data is a little high. So, I mean, that's just,
Yeah, and when it comes to any of this stuff, not the entire city is not one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's a big enough city. It's got like 111,000 people. Where I always advise people, when we kind of zero in on, let's say, a house that you're interested in, I always recommend that you go to that location multiple times of the day and evening just to get a feel of what it's like, because safety is such a subjective thing
Yeah.
that I could not begin to tell you that this is safe for you and not for me. I mean, that's just crazy. Even within my own family, like my sister has a different level of safety, like what she feels comfortable with than I do.
Yeah.
So it just, again, that's very, very, very subjective.
yeah.
And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.